In the pea generation, the purple plants would self-pollinate, making all purple plants, and then the white plants would do the same, making all white plants. In the F1 generation, the cross-pollination, the purple plant has the dominant trait, like blue eyes are dominant to green eyes. This would result in all the plants being purple. In the F2 generation, all the plants have both the purple and the white trait, represented by the capital R and the lowercase r. In some cases, you may have both white traits, either of the traits, or both purple traits. This is because they are cross-pollinated in the F1 stage.
Mendel's results paved a way to better understand the way of inheritance. When Mendel conducted his experiment, he took two pea generation plants, one being purple, one being white. After the two pea generation plants reproduced, they created four F1 generations, all purple. The white did not appear because it was controlled by the recessive factor. When the F2 generation appeared, he noticed 1/4 was made up of a white flower. That was because the F2 generation appeared, he noticed 1/4 was made up of white flowers, and this is because the recessive factor controlled all the white, and it combined with the purple being the dominant factor.
Mendel collected seeds from his pea plants and carefully recorded each plant's traits and its seed's traits. He then observed how their traits were passed through each generation. Pollination is how plants reproduce, and on their own they reproduce through self-pollination. But Mendel prevented this from happening by removing the anthers from the flowers of some of the plants. He then cross-pollinated the plants by manually transferring pollen from other flowers to the stigma of the antherless plants. Through this, he selected parent plants with specific traits and observed the traits that appeared in the offspring. This allowed him to produce new generations of pea plants.
In 1843, Gregor Mendel entered a monastery in Brunn, Austria, where he had the task of tending the garden. He had time to observe the growth of plants. Mendel studied science and mathematics, which included training in statistics, which later became valuable in his research on heredity, which is the transmission of characteristics from parents to offspring. Mendel studied many plants, but he is known most for his experiments with Physarum saphium, a species of garden peas.